Well, the time is 3:30, and we're going to interrupt your usual broadcasting because there's actually a really special event that's currently happening. Just to give you a bit of background, the Aman School of Excellence, which is an initiative by the African Muslims Agency, it was started by AMA about 11 months ago, and they embarked on one of their most ambitious projects. It was the establishment of the Aman School of Excellence in Lebanon for Palestine and Syrian refugee children, and along with underprivileged children of Lebanon. And it was launched alongside the One Child, One Dream event, which happened around 2021. This is obviously an initiative by AMA to raise awareness on the conditions under which children who live in the refugee camps of Palestine and Lebanon, what kind of life are they living and the experiences that they have. But to give us a bit more background on this is Hussein Chunara. He's the regional director of the African Muslims Agency. He is with some of the children from the Aman School of Excellence. They're currently in Cape Town. If I'm not mistaken, they've landed just a few hours ago, so they're just fresh out of Palestine, and they're currently in South Africa. And he's going to be giving us a bit of background about their presence here in South Africa, how you can get involved in the sole purpose of this initiative. I'm just going to read before we have him back on air. Read some recollections from these children. So this is from a young lady by the name of Miriam Aman. She's a student. She is aged 9 years of age, and she says, for the first time in my life, I have a routine. I wake up at 6 a.m. I pray, and then I get dressed in my uniform and leave for Aman School. So this is one of the beneficiaries of the Aman School by the African Muslims Agency, which was established about 11 months ago. As I said, they've embarked on one of their most ambitious projects, the establishment of the Aman School of Excellence in Lebanon for Palestine and Syrian refugee children, along with underprivileged Lebanese children. It was launched with the One Child, One Dream events around South Africa in 2021. AMA worked to raise awareness of the conditions under which children live in refugee camps, the hopelessness of their daily lives, and their inability to dream as all children should. Amman means safety in Arabic, and the Amman School in Bekaa, Lebanon, aims to secure the future of refugee and underprivileged children, to provide a circle of safety which allows them to enjoy a childhood. The school provides world class education to 650 children previously unable to access education due to their status as refugees, combined with the dire economic situation in Lebanon. I think we're all familiar with what happened in Lebanon. I think it was a year ago, but I think we have Hussein Chunara with us. He's going to give us a bit more insight on the school itself, and also what does the presence of these wonderful children mean to us. Salam Safiz Chunara, how are you?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother, shukran for having us on Salam Media on this beautiful
Thank you.
afternoon.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm pretty sure you're a bit tired after landing with the children, but I'm pretty sure you're also excited because it must be really energetic. I'm sure they're happy. Maybe just paint a picture for us. How are the scenes? How are the children? Are they excited to be in South Africa? How are they feeling about flying all the way from Palestine to be here in SA?
All the way from Lebanon, from the refugee camps, these kids have just
Yeah.
arrived. 10 children from the Aman School of Excellence have just touched down at Cape Town International Airport, the first time ever in South Africa for these children, refugee children, who attend the Aman School, a school owned by African Muslims Agency, which provides formal education to the children who live in the camps. And you must know some of these children, their space is that it's just a refugee camp and a few kilometers around it. And some of their dreams is to maybe see an place. Alhamdulillah, last night they were able to travel and arrive here in South Africa. It's the One Child, One Dream movement around South Africa, where these 10 children will be moving around South Africa. And of course, interacting with the well-wishers, the donors, the viewers, the supporters, the staff, the volunteers around South Africa, but also the pleas, the begging, the pleas is for people to sponsor towards providing children in Lebanon education, inshallah.
Mm. I know you're currently at the airport, and the signal is a bit bad. But if you can hear me, just maybe you can just give insight on why was it so important for the children to come here to South Africa. I know usually with these projects, the people will be talking about the children being in the refugee camps or being in these places that seem so far away, and we can only read about them and see the images that you guys bring back to us. How important was it for them to actually be here and to have South Africans interact with them, get to know them, and to hear a bit about their stories? All right, we seem to have lost Hafez Hussein Chunara there, but yeah, I think once he gets back, you could answer that question for me. But yeah, but just to give some more background on the Aman School, the school was officially opened in October 2021 and provides kindergarten, elementary, and intermediate education. Education for these children changes the trajectory of their and their families' lives, and it provides them with a platform to achieve their dreams. The change that has been seen in these children over the past year is incredible. Students from the Aman School of Excellence will visit South Africa during August 2022. We just found out that they just landed now, a few hours ago, and they'll be sharing their stories of how their lives changed after one academic year at Aman. AMA would like to share the joy of these children with the community of South Africa, so that the donors can witness firsthand the impact of their donations. And as I mentioned, that usually we just read about these places. We only hear about these children from the information that we get from organizations like Africa Muslims Agency. But I think they provide a perfect platform for to have that one-on-one interaction. AMA has been in existence for over 35 years now, and I think this is a groundbreaking project where you actually get to see the people that are benefiting from from your donations. Yeah, so as I was, AMA would like to share the joy of these children with the community of South Africa, so that the donors can witness firsthand the impact of their donations and to gain support to sponsor the children who still need their tuition covered as we move into the second year of Aman. In order for this to be a long-term sustainable project, ongoing support and commitment is required from our donor community. We hope to share the stories of refugee children with South African children, to create empathy and gratitude, and to foster a spirit of giving from a young age in the next generation. South African children can interact with the group of Lebanon uh, children. They can listen to that beautiful recitation by Yaman, a 14-year-old Syrian refugee who dreams of becoming a Nasheed artist. Um, I think we have brother Hussein on the phone. Salam, brother Hussein. Can you hear me?
Ah, then,
Brother Hussein, can you hear me now? Hello. Okay, I can't. Okay, well, the team is working background to get hold of him. But yeah, I think this is a really brilliant initiative. I think the one that stands out for me is the fact that you're gonna have young South African children, who are more or less the same age as these refugee children who are attending the Amman school, who are going to be interacting with them. I think sometimes because of how blessed some areas of South Africa are, there seems to be a disconnect from reality. The children know so little about what's happening around the world, and I think this would be a proper opportunity for them to learn more. Do I have brother Hussein on the line? Salam, brother Hussein, can you hear me?
Walaikum salam. I can hear you,
Ah,
brother. Must hear you now. Yes.
no problem at all. So before I lost you there, I just asked the question about why did you guys feel it was important, to bring the children here to South Africa, where they'll be interacting, directly to some of the donors. I think usually we just hear these stories on the radio, on television, or we just interact and see the image that you guys bring back to us. How important was it to bring the kids, in flesh, to come to South Africa, to tell their stories and to to interact with the
Massive,
door.
massively important. Massively important because we've seen the different education ways. One is in your own space, in your own life, amongst our own kids. But we've seen the
Mm,
different education brings to children in the refugee camps, for example. Give them an opportunity to fulfill their dreams. We
mm,
say children are the future of the world. How do we expect the future to be like if we don't give them the opportunity and the platform to fulfill their dreams of being someone? And the
mm,
reality is such that if they do not get an education, the simple reality is these kids will one day in a camp their entire life for decades. So that's why bringing the kids here, one is, of course, people have been watching on social media, people have been witnessing, following us on our stories and footage from the camps over the past years about these kids. And now it's important to give that feedback to say, look how your support is changing the lives, not only of these kids, but their families' lives. And
mm,
there's hundreds more children that are waiting for sponsorship to also have an equal opportunity of fulfilling their dreams. So we're calling it the One Child, One Dream, and it's a movement that's gaining traction around South Africa and around the world to provide formal education, to be part of sponsoring formal education to children, refugee children from Syria, Palestine, and Lebanon, and giving them the opportunity to change the trajectory of their life, not only their life, but their families' lives as well. And to see these kids who have just arrived, we've seen them before. And when they were living in a camp, they were amongst each other. They were, of course, just a fight. And because they have dreams, they want to be kids, they want to play, they want to learn. But with no education, how can we
mm,
expect them to progress in life? Now, with, of course, the Aman School that we have in Lebanon, it gives us opportunity for people. Ultimately, it's not about these kids, my brother. It's about the people who are listening. It's about what's in their heart. Because to fulfill
mm.
what's in their heart, ultimately fulfilling the dreams of these children, inshallah.
I'm pretty sure there are some really brilliant stories that these children are going to tell. But is there some lineup of events that will be happening? How can people interact with them? Where can they come and meet and greet them and get to know them? And so some of the parents that want to bring their own young children also, are there a line of events that you guys have prepared? If yes, maybe you can just share a bit with us.
Absolutely. The kids are in Cape Town for the next week. They just landed in the city of Cape Town. We'll be in Cape Town till Friday, till Saturday morning. Of course, events in Cape Town will they be attending different schools. They'll be
Hmm.
attending the different schools in Cape Town as well as then having an event at the Islamia College auditorium on Friday evening. Limited seating. Anyone wants to in Cape Town wants to attend can come through and connect with the Cape Town office to purchase their ticket to be there to meet the kids and also to sponsor towards education. Of course, then they go over to PE, to Port Elizabeth, and there's an event happening there on the Sunday. One of the farm's details are on social media pages or connect with us on social media to find out more. And then off to Newcastle. And there's an event happening there as well. And then we go to Johannesburg again. We were visiting schools and, of course, having events open to the public. For example, on the 14th of August at Kurtuba, at one of the venues at Kurtuba Hospitality, again, where people can purchase a picnic basket to come and interact with the kids. But of course, as the days go along and more events they get confirmed, whether it will be at, restaurants or in public open spaces, I would encourage you listening right now, connect with the office in your area to find out where the children will be, but more importantly, find out how you and your family, your network, your circle can support children with education, because ultimately the message of the children who arrive today is about the hundreds more who are left behind in Lebanon, how we can make a change in their life as well, inshallah.
Mm. No, that's brilliant. And then, what about for those that they still want to give a helping hand, but unfortunately they can't attend these events. In what way can they contribute? How can they get hold of you guys?
African Muslim Agency's website, africanmuslimagency.co.za. Go onto the website or connect with any of the offices. If you want a crowdfunding link to donate, you can donate. You can ask us for a link. And you can donate 1,000 rand to a child to provide education. We provide you a profile of the child, or any amount towards that makes a massive difference. Of course, we give you feedback and a profile of the child that you are sponsoring as well, inshallah.
No, thank you so much, brother. And I'm pretty sure it must be really hectic. There at the airport, and also there's going to be some really big days as you guys continue to be organizing these various events across South Africa. But from Salam Media and the rest of the team, we'd like to thank you. This is a really groundbreaking. Brilliant initiative. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of anything like this before. Bringing the story closer to the people and having people interact with what they would usually just read about or see on television. So kudos on our side, and thank you so much for giving us our time.
I mean, Jazakallah to you, Salam to the Salam Media team for sharing this message and giving us the opportunity to share with the people out there. Anybody listening, please follow African Muslim Agency and Salam Media and be part of sponsoring children education in the refugee camps.
Jazakallah so much. That was Hussein Chunar of the Regional Director of African Muslim Agency, speaking about these brilliant initiative, Aman School of Excellence students. These are students who are staying in refugee camps in Lebanon and Syria, and they are here in South Africa, and you can visit them. You can go to the African Muslim Agency's social media and keep your eye on Salam Media if you want to find out where they are and how you can get hold of them. But from me, Salaelo and Serene behind the desk, it's goodbye for now.